So before like start, when I tell this story, I don't want anybody to think that this is like, oh, if you pray to God, He'll give you whatever you want, and that's really not the case. Because at the end of the day, He's already given you the best gift, the ultimate gift, which is salvation. I think a lot of people they go into their relationship with Christ thinking that their life's gonna be perfect and everything's gonna come together, and that's really not the case. But I want to tell the story so people know that the Lord cares about the small things. He cares about the big things too, but He wants to be a part of every piece of your life. Um, so a few years ago, I used to work with my dad. He was a painter, and every time I went to a house, they had these big dogs, and I always be like, oh, I want a big dog. And we had a Chihuahua like a year or so, no, 2 years ago. Come on, okay. And so he passed away 2 years ago, but I love that. I loved him. I just wanted big dogs. Like, some people are big dog people and some people are small. And so I grew this love for golden doodles because they're just so cute. And I was always like, I'm gonna get me one of them. I mean, I know they cost a lot, but I'm gonna get one. And one day on Facebook, someone posted that they had two puppies left, and they were discounting them because they were going out of town, and they were like, okay, we don't want to do the daycare thing. We just want to move them out really quick. So I looked on like, hey, we gotta go get this sucker. And so it was a girl. We named her Ivy. In the middle of the night, we went and got her, and I came back and was like, okay, now I got to figure out this weekend because your girl had scheduled 2 markets that weekend, and she's too young to go to Camp Bow Wow or anything like that. So I was like, surely my family will help out. It's only 2 days, because I thought about how much I will put everything down for them. Like I would go, I'm always like, hey, they're like, hey, Jessica, can you take me here? Yeah, got you. Hey, can you do this? Oh, I got you. So when everyone was like, no, it made me so upset because I just thought, I'm always coming through for them. Why couldn't y'all come through for me this one time? So the next day after we bought her, we had to rehome her. And it hurt me so bad because I was like, this is my dream dog. And we had her on for a discount and all this stuff. And it wasn't until like maybe a couple of days ago, actually, that the Lord showed me, you didn't even ask me. Like, you just went and got her and was just like, we'll figure it out later. I didn't ask at all. I was like, nope, gonna get her. It's a deal. I'm gonna get this dog. But we had to rehome her the next day. And I was just feeling really down about it. And my mom, she worked at the post office, so our mail lady's like a super dog person. And she was like, is Jessica still looking for a dog? And she's like, yeah. She's like, yeah, she had to rehome the golden doodle. And she's like, oh man, you should have kept her or whatever. But I think like maybe a month or so later, I was like, Lord, if someone offers me a free dog, I'm just gonna take it. I'll take it, whatever free, anything free, a free dog. So maybe after I did that prayer, maybe 2 weeks later or something, the mail lady sent my mom a picture, said, hey, does Jessica want this dog? I didn't even look at it. I was like, I don't care. I'll have it. I'll take it. And so that dog was Sadie. And when I picked her up, I was like, oh my God, this dog is beautiful. She had the beautiful blue eyes. And oh my God. So when I got her, I was having trouble sleeping. And I was trying to figure out what it was. And I Googled it, and they were calling it the puppy blues or something. It's something where like you just get so much anxiety. And so every night I would get so much anxiety. I couldn't breathe. I would cry. I'd be like, oh my gosh, she okay? And all this stuff. And I went through the Bible and just went through all these like scriptures, and I would have to read them every night to get some sleep, every night. And so the Lord really helped me overcome that part. But then later on, I felt like she was lonely. So I was like, I want another dog. And I'm like, God, I asked God this time. And I said, I really want a boy dog for Sadie to play with. I want him to be black. And I wanted to be a boy dog, and if you can make that happen, make that happen. So then mail lady comes in. See, look, mail lady just really all up in the story. So she came in, she texted my mom and was like, hey, that house that Sadie came from, they had like another litter. And I was like, is there any boys? And so she gets back to us and she says, there's one boy. And she showed me a picture. I'm like, and he's black. And I was like, yeah, I want him. So I still live with my parents, so my dad doesn't like dogs. And when I said, hey, we're gonna go get this dog, he's like, no, you're not gonna bring another dog here, because we still had the Chihuahua, who he was older, so he's like peeing everywhere and all stuff. That's a whole nother. So we kept asking him, and he kept saying no. So the mail lady actually went and got him so they wouldn't give him away to anybody, thinking that sooner or later he'll warm up or whatever. And so he just kept saying no, and she was like, okay, well, I can't keep him at my house. I already have like $6-7. And I was like, oh my gosh. So then my mom was like, just go get him. And so I was like, well, ask if she still has him. And she was like, no, I gave him away to her daughter's friend or something like that. And my heart was so crushed. We had already named this dog. We saw the picture, we named him. We were like, Dakota. And so I was like, okay, this is frustrating. So my dad found out. He was like joking around, like, oh, you can go get him now. And I'm like, oh, joke's on you. I'm about to go adopt one then. We can bring a dog back. So I just started going on petfinder.com and just trying to find one I can adopt. And then I went to a adoption event not Pensacola, PetSmart in Spanish Fort. And I went there and I saw this dog. His name was Hawk, and I held him for probably an hour. I filled out the adoption application and all that, and I was just holding him, and I called my mom, and I don't know why I feel so uncertain, because I do like this dog. And I was like, I don't know. And everybody's like, oh, that's your dog right there. What? And so I put him back down, and I left, and I got in the car, and I was like, I don't know why I couldn't get that dog, but God, and I know this is a stretch, but if there's a way for me to get Dakota, I know that this is a long shot, because, someone has a dog. I'm like, maybe it can be overwhelming for them. Maybe it could just be too much, something. Like, if that is possible, let that happen. But if it's not your will for me to have him, then help me find another one. It's okay. I'll be okay. So I get home, and I'm like, adding all these little groups where it's like rehoming dogs and all this stuff. And there was one group that I found, it was rehoming dogs like Mobile. Never heard of it. And I follow a lot of dog stuff. So I clicked on it, and I was just scrolling through, and I'm like, okay, cute. That one's cute. And I'm showing my mom, and mom's just like, I just want Dakota. And I'm like, we can't get Dakota. He has a home now. So I was scrolling, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go to bed. But before I went to bed, I picked my phone up, and I looked at Facebook, and I had an alert from that group. And then I was like, oh, I wonder what they added. Clicked on it. Same picture that the mail lady sent us. It was Dakota. And I said, Mama, look at this. And she said, get them. And so she messaged the mail lady, because they were trying to ask for like a rehoming fee. And she's like, no, you don't have to pay for that. So she said, okay, they're going to bring them to you. But right when the reality of me having a second dog hit, anxiety came right back up, like with Sadie, came right back up. And so I'm like, okay, I don't know if I want him anymore, even though I just pray for him and all this stuff. My mom's like, you're being ridiculous. You just pray for him, and this is what happened. And so we went to go pick him up, and I felt numb. Like, I picked him up, I felt numb. I felt like, I don't want this dog. I don't want him. And so I instantly was like, I don't want him. I'm going to rehome him. So I reached out to like all these rescues, and I'm like, I don't want this dog. I just can't do it, making all these excuses or whatever. Like, I can't do it or whatever. And then I had posted on my Facebook, and like nothing happened. Like the rescue people, they replied and said, hey, just send us his information. I sent it. They never got back to me. Till this day, never got back to me. And so I was like, okay. After like almost a month, I'm like, okay, I think you might have to be my dog, because no one's reaching out. And it's like, so I guess I have to start training you to do stuff. And I remember I was in the living room, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to teach you how to shake, because you just keep biting my hand off, and I need you to know how to like paw. And so I was teaching him that, and it was in that moment where I started to feel like, okay, this is gonna be okay. And fast forward like a year or so, once again, more anxiety. I was growing my relationship with Christ, so all I wanted to do was please him. And so when these thoughts started popping up in my head that you need to get rid of your dogs, like you love your dogs too much, you shouldn't love them that much. And I was just really thinking about, okay, I guess I should surrender him just to prove that I love him. And And all this stuff was happening, and it was just rough. And what made it worse was that I was at my grandma's house, and they got loose. And she kind of lives in a country area. I used to live there. They used to walk down the road with like shotguns and stuff. And I was like, oh. So they ran off, and I'm trying to get them to come back. I got Dakota because he's really easy to get back when you have food in your hand. So she's not so much. She's like, eh. So she kept running away from me, and she got so deep into the woods that I couldn't even get to her. And I remember first I was like, let me call my mom. Maybe my mom her voice will bring her back. And but my mom didn't answer the phone. So I stood at the edge of the little woods area and was like, okay, Lord, only you can bring her back. And that's it. That's all. Only you. I can't go deeper into there. I can't go. So I turned around, and right when I turned around, she sprints out the little wooded area and went straight into the house. And I was like, in my brain, I was thinking it's because I was supposed to give him up, and it's because you didn't want me to have him in the first place, and all this. And then there was another time he ran off by himself at night, and he's black, and it's dark outside, so I couldn't see him, and everybody was driving so fast up and down the street. And I was like, God, if it's your will for me to have this dog, help him to come back. Because right now I'm just in a place where I don't know what you want from me. And so almost before I finished that prayer, I said, God, if it's your will, if it's not, I understand, because you told me to give him up or whatever. And right before I could even finish, really, he comes huffing and puffing out of the dark and right to me. And I was like, thank you, Lord, for that. And so I took him in the house, and I was like, okay, I think I'm over this thought process. I think that it's gonna be okay. But maybe 2 years ago, I believe, my brother came home from Virginia for a little bit. But when he left, it was such a heaviness that was over me, and I didn't understand why. Because I was okay. I don't know. I felt like nothing was wrong. I wasn't like depressed or anything like that. It was just a heaviness when he left. And it was a heaviness of feeling alone. And so, right after, and I think my mom instantly knew something was wrong. Because we went to the airport, she's like, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, nothing. But I knew something was wrong. And so I'm just sitting in my room and just having these dark thoughts. I just wanted to, I don't know what it was. It was just like a loneliness of like, why am I here? Nobody cares. And I just wanted to hurt myself. And one thing I just remember is seeing like the dog leash and just thinking, just wrap that around your neck real quick and just like, don't hurt yourself, but just, and it scared me. And I battled with that for a while. It was January, and I was finished working out, and I laid down on the floor and was just like, why do I still feel this feeling? Like, usually worship and being in Lord's presence and just working out too just makes you feel good. And I'm like, I just don't know what this heaviness is. And so this dude busted into my room, like the Kool-Aid man, busted in, and like, I don't know, I looked over him and I laughed, which I don't even know if I really laughed in a while, but I laughed because I was like, he's always everywhere I want. Like, I think that he noticed I wasn't in the room, and he ran upstairs. And so I got up and closed the door, and he laid by me, and I just was petting him, and the Holy Spirit hit me so heavy. And he was like, do you see how much this dog wants to be around you? And how he wants to be everywhere you go. And he was like, that's how the Lord is with you. Where Dakota is, and he's there too. You're never alone. And he was like, just see how he is, where if you're going down the stairs, he's going down the stairs. Like, if you're going to the restroom, he's like, okay, well, you finish, I'll be right here. And ever since that day, when I think about if I ever feel lonely or like the Lord's not near to me, I always remember that he's just as close to me as this dog is. Because when I say he's always with me, I always, like, if I feel alone, I'm like, okay, I know I'm not, because he has provided so much. And I just think I think maybe like a few months ago, I thought about it, and I was like, wow, the Lord used a dog that I didn't want I wanted it, but I was trying to get rid of multiple times to pull me out of such a deep depression that I was like, okay, Lord, when you say yes to things, it's not just because like, oh, you just want to give somebody something. There's so many other things. Like, I think that when I had to keep him, the Lord was trying to teach me how to lean into fear, to not just keep running away when things are scary. And if it wasn't for that, would not be right here doing this. I think that after that moment, I started to lean into the fear, and every time I felt it, I was like, lean into it, and it just builds up this courage that I've been praying for. I've been praying for boldness. I've been praying to be brave and do things that are out of my comfort zone. And but I say this story because I want people to know that the Lord cares about the small things. That might have been so silly for me to pray for, like, oh, I want this dog or whatever, because there's so many things in the world going on. But I want people to know that he cares, that he sees you, and that it's more than just getting a dog. I think about all the different personalities of a dog and how I needed this personality to pull me out of that. So if whoever is listening to this video, pray about the silly thing. If it seems silly to you, it might seem silly to other people. Like, I love dogs, and I know that people are like, it's just a dog, and it's not. Like, it's not. If you care about it, it's important to the Lord. But yeah, I think that. Sorry, I think that's it.
Okay.